Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review. Chapter 1000, whoops, wrong one. Sorry, chapter 1127. Adventure in a Land of Mystery, in which we follow up the last chapter where the Straw Hats are heading to Elbaf, only to be separated. Now Nami is stuck on what appears to be a giant Lego set, wondering where she is and where the others are when it comes to her crewmates. How will she how will she find them? Will they survive? Will they encounter any giants? Will we see Nico Robbins' group at all? Well, we're about to find out in this chapter. But before that, oh, and also Shanks took care of Bartolomeo's crew. But before that, we've got the ever so consistent cover story of Yamato's. So here we are. Olga Child, Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 15. The kidnappings weigh heavily on Dogstorm, Daimyo of Kuri. So we've learned that Dogstorm has replaced Odin as the Daimyo of Kuri, which I suppose makes somewhat of sense since Dogstorm and Cat Viper were rescued by Odin when he was the Daimyo of Kuri. So I suppose let's see, one of them was bound to be taking over it, I guess. But yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Dogstorm considers it a great honor to be the Daimyo of the part of Wano that Odin once did. But yeah, I'll be curious to see if we ever get a reasoning about why each of these 9 scabbards are part of the daimyos of of these specific areas that are just chosen at random. But yeah, I assume that means let's see if gone Karamatsu, I think. Yeah, probably is the one of Udon, yeah, the prison area, and I suppose Cat Viper would be one of the remaining ones, but I'll have to let's see back. But I've not really checked my geography and keeping up in who's who with like the Wano's leadership thing. So it's been a while since I've done that. But I do like how you got Dogstorm showing concern, chatting, just eating and chatting with Yamato as they seemingly discuss the kidnappings of going on. So it seems like those two might end up being working together. So it'll be very interesting to see how this will play out between the two of them. I do like how they see Yamato is eating, how they're both eating rice balls while munching, just talking each other. I think it's kind of nice. Anyway, I've gone on long enough about this cover story. Time for the actual chapter. We appears to have what appears to be giants, or maybe Ritzy or Elbaf citizens saying, "Ooh, there's a fire." Ritzy sometimes wants to put out with like the water, wonder what the smell is, and saying, "Oh, it's from the forest," and if it spreads to apparently this place called Yazgadrill, the World Tree, then our country is finished, saying that we should pour it to the Sun God. With many of these, giants or Elbaf citizens saying, "Hey, there's some funny business afoot," and there's no reason that the Stingmores would have fallen from the sky otherwise. We see a bunch of bees or wasps, depending on how you see it, being smoked and damaged, and you get 2 of them then chatting, saying that from what those in the forest say, that wobbling earlier was the sound of the ear god collapsing, which I think implies to be a giant rabbit, with the other guy going like, "Wait, this is impossible. What could possibly cause that gigantic rabbit to fall?" Which, okay, that confirms it. And then we cut to Bistein Castle, the sort of Lego castle where Nami is, as she is screaming, going about, "It's still alive!" Wondering, like, what's with these horrible giant bees? As you got Zeus saying, "Good morning, Nami, where are we?" With her saying, "Oh, she doesn't know," and that last thing she remembers was riding on the giant ship, as I think we see her knocking out another one of those giant bees. Let's see, with her thunder thing. And then starting to cry, saying, "Someone come and save her," crying out for Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, of course, the monster trio. And even say, "I even settle for Usopp," perhaps having a little jab at the fact that Usopp is just as cowardly and weak as her. So it's like she doesn't want to do all the fighting, as we now get a full, let's see, outfit of Nami's Viking gear, where we see more of the skirt, the leggings showing as per usual with Oda's designs, and with like a flashy little with like the top bits of the leggings being exposed and the bottom leggings being a bit more the fluffy part of the Viking. And but yeah, as she goes like, "Am I going crazy? I don't even remember changing." I'm going like, "Where am I? Is this a dream?" And asking what castle this is, with hearing Usopp's voice saying, "Hey, Nami," and she goes like, "Oh, Usopp, that's Usopp's voice." As she walks, she trips over the Lego set and going like, "Ow, what's going on with the ground? It's all bumpy." And then let's see, before and I think I'll stop here for a bit and discuss what I have been seeing for the chapters so far, where you got like we're actually getting citizens being like, "Oh my god, there's a fire," not realize that the Straw Hats are there, and being shocked by the fact that and you hear them spreading rumors about how some people have been taking down these giant animals who they each seem to worship as gods, be it bee gods and the ear god rabbits. So it seems that certain animal giants seem to be worshipped as gods, so like what appears to be the giants of Elbaf, or at least Elbathian like citizens. Let's see, I won't go into details why about that, but I think I'll wait until like a few more chapters that have come out. But they're shocked that someone's able to take on like the bees, and the fact that wondering who could be possibly strong enough to take it down, which I do like how this sort of hypes up Nami when we see that she's the one that takes down the bees. Anyway, I do like how they're panicking about the world tree collapsing or being burnt if it's damaged. But I think the most interesting thing is apparently that there's someone that's called Ace. There's someone that's claiming the title of Sun God around here. And it seems like the Sun God has a bit of an influence amongst these citizens. Now, granted, let's see, we know that Luffy is the actual Sun God due to his devil fruit, but seems someone is trying to pose as that title, so that probably means that this is going to be the first obstacle. This Sun God is going to be the first obstacle the Straw Hats have on the, let's see, on the Elbaf arc, or at least their trip to Elbaf. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays down. But yeah, I do like how Nami is just completely panicking on the fact that giant insects, which no, granted, I have no idea. Which, to be fair, let's see, giant animals and monsters always terrify her. I don't think I've ever. Let's see. And also, I think I just recalled, in the Gyro arc, she was terrified of bugs and insects. So I do like that little continuity. But I do like how just Zeus is just immediately zaps something and goes like, "Oh, hey, Nami, where are we, by the way?" And she's like, "I don't know." I do love her little, let's see, call out to try and ask the monster trio to come and save her, because she knows those three are the most reliable in, like, let's see, coming to her rescue. But even though I think, though granted, she does even admit that she wouldn't mind taking Usopp if it meant saving her, which I think is leading up to the fact that, okay, Usopp was the first one to call her out, so that means that she's going to be reunited with Usopp first. Anyway, a bit more commentary on Nami's design. I guess, the Viking bit for the most part. Arguably, yes, it's a bit more of a, like, fan service and, like, Nami's sex appeal with the legs. And granted, her, like, Viking skirt is a lot more thinner than I expected. I figured Oda was going more back to the classic fan service, but I think, who knows, it's very possible we might get more, I guess you could say, panty shots like we did in, I guess you could argue, let's see, Egghead Island, where Oda, let's see, like deliberately made, let's see, every female character have, like, let's see panty shots and just like full on leggings, just because I think someone asked him to do like more fan service amongst the, I guess, the behind, if you will. So we'd be surprised that we have that, but I do like how she seems to have like a sword in her, let's see, on her as well. I don't know if she's actually going to use it, though. Granted, let's see, as she does have her temple, though granted, there's some people have noticed that it's not missing, it's missing on one panel or another, and then reappearing another, but we'll have to wait and see there. But I do like how she also trips on the Lego blocks, sort of like mirroring how if you're not careful, you can end up hurting yourself due to Lego pieces. But anyway, Nami as she continue on. Nami as she trips runs into a giant hedgehog, panics, and we get a little bit of a Bitsy the butt shot, like I was mentioning earlier. The hedgehog also panics, but yeah. But I do like the sort of bushy back thing that you see in the Viking cloak on the back. The top is fine for most part, even if it's a bit fan service. And but yeah, I don't know if she should really be having high heels. But I do like the hairstyle at the very least. It reminds me, I think, let's see, the braids kind of remind me a little bit of Astrid. The braid on one side does kind of remind me a little bit of Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon. But anyway, going back, Nami gets spooked by a giant hedgehog, and the hedgehog gets spooked by her, only to get angry and start chasing her as she tries to apologize. Tries to apologize about startling it, as that's not worth her attention. Asking for Usopp where she is, and he says, down here and save me, as we see a giant cat wearing a crown, chewing and biting on him, and she's just going like, you're supposed to save me! What is that monster? And she cries about how she's in trouble over here too, and saying, what's this, some kind of castle of monsters? The angry hedgehog follows suit as she extends Zeus, and but too late she realizes that she's gonna fall. As she's falling, Zeus goes and zaps the giant hedgehog, going like, whatever, just zap it, as it seems like the hedgehog has just been completely electrocuted and knocked unconscious, but it's still electric and ends up hitting the top of the cat, freeing Usopp, and the cat gets electrocuted, shocking both, I think, Nami and Usopp, and going like how she has a fad feeling about this, with Usopp saying the same. The giant cat is still conscious from it, and is now staring down at them angrily, and is now starting to chase them, and Nami's going like, what have you figured out so far, Usopp, as they're both running for their lives, as we get Usopp in his design, where he's got like the typical I guess Viking trouser get-up. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Who are those two? Let's see, Vikings from like those games, hold on. Or Viking comic strips. Let's see. Is it Haga the Horrible? Hold on. Let's see, I'm trying to... No, not that one. I'm thinking of... Let's see. I'm trying to remember. What were their names? Oh, yeah, the Astrid and the Vikings. Yeah, I think that is... Let's see, the French comic book series Asterix, I think it is. Oh, yeah. Where, I know, you got the Witsy, well, you think you got like Usopp having that sort of like little trouser get up, a mustache and beard, and long Viking horns for a helmet because, well, he wants to be a Viking of Elbaf, so you got that. And Usopp just ends up replying, saying, same thing as you, right? I woke up and I was here, and saying how everyone was getting drunk on the giant ship end. With Nami saying, you know what, this is right. Didn't you say that would make us hallucinate? And she recalls what the giant said about it being known as the Green Fairy. As they start realize that they're trapped, as they are in a dead end, as if they fall down, it'll be like, let's see, pop, pretty much, too far down to count. Let's see, so they'll fall to their deaths as they come and they're so high up. With Usopp saying, you mentioned those hallucinations, Nami. Saying maybe that means this cat is just a version and it was in the air. And she's like, huh? And goes like, hallucinations can't hurt him, but the cat, angry, whacks him with his claw, and Usopp is hurt and injured and sent flying. And Nami cries, Usopp, as they both fall down as Usopp falls to the ground, and then Nami follows suit as goes screaming, landing to the ground. So yeah. So I'm about as hold on, I'll just yeah, I'll end my summary bit here and then go on to my thoughts on this bit here. I do like how we also seem to get a giant hedgehog, and both Nami and the hedgehog just completely spook each other out. Granted, I will admit, I think Oda is still continuing the sort of booty shot, if you will, of Egghead as the way Nami's positioned. As we can see, like a very bit of an emphasis on her butt. So it seems Oda is still not doing the booty shots of fan service. I do like how the hedgehog immediately after panicking gets angry for being startled, and Nami's just trying to apologize because, like, no, don't hurt me, please, I didn't mean to startle you. I do like how she's like, Usopp, where are you? But Usopp is like in trouble himself and asking Nami to save her. So it's like, no, you're supposed to save me. I just love that little interaction. Like they're both cowardly and being like, save me. No, you save me. But anyway, I do like how we got a giant cat with a crown. I'm wondering if this is supposed to be some sort of reference to something. Let's see, maybe the Alice in Wonderland. I don't think I remember the cat having like a crown. But yeah, I do like how at the very least Nami's at least willing to try and zap the hedgehog, and it does seem to knock him out. But unfortunately, I do like, fortunately for her, the side effect of it landing on the big cat, which I do like how both Usopp and Nami immediately realize that, oh, we're in trouble for doing this, aren't we? And I do like how they're just like the cat's just now pursuing them in more anger. I do like how they discuss, like, okay, what happened? Let's see. Okay, we're all drunk. Wait, maybe it's the green fairy kind of thing. I do like how they consider that possibility, even though that does come back to bite Usopp later as he ends up being damaged by the cat, thinking, okay, if you're a hallucination, you can't hurt me. But it's like, ah! Oh, no, wait, you actually can hurt me. So there's that. And it also doesn't help that they're on a dead end, so I do like that bit. But I do love Nami's reaction to Usopp being injured, going like, Usopp! And just crying and terrified and all that. So that's funny. As they're both plunging to their deaths, if you will. Well, granted, let's see, the next page shows that they didn't do it. Usopp's a bit unconscious, and then Nami seems to be waking up. And the giant cat is now turned into a giant lion. And she's going like, why is there a lion now? And going like how they're done for. And asking her Usopp to just get her, open her eyes, saying that they're about to die. And we're like, as the lion now roars. And Usopp says, don't use me as a and Nami just picks up Usopp and uses him as a shield. And Usopp's complaining, don't use me as a shield. And you hear Sanji's, oh, Nami! Or probably in Japanese translations, Nami Swan! As he goes like, for the crime of making my beloved cry, death, Ifriti Jambe, El Palu. Luffy apparently using Gear 4, though it looks very much like Gear 3 as he seems to be in a bit of a Viking get-up. So Sanji, though granted it looks more knight-like, as he goes like, Gear 4, Gum, elephant. His sword then also comes up in a Viking sort of get-up saying, free sword style, black rope dragon. The lion just roars, and they go like, each saying, twister, whip, strike, doing their signature moves, Luffy punching the lion in the face, Sanji kicking on its head, busting its crown, and Zoro slicing underneath it, shocking Usopp and Nami at their monstrous strength as the lion then falls, and also perhaps shocked that they all three just suddenly appeared. And Zoro then starts looking up, saying, the heck, the cat, it turned into a cat. And Lucy saying he'll pass on this one, saying that roast rabbit earlier was tasty enough, so he's not going to eat the lion, but he's eaten the rabbit. Laughing about that. Sanji going like, Nami, you had me worried. As she goes like, I was so scared, Sanji. Poor Usopp is dead. But Usopp goes like, I'm still alive. And saying, yep, and I'm going to remember what you used me as a shield, Nami. let's see. And then you hear a woo as Nami says, I think not again, at least I'm suing it. As Usopp then Luffy starts laughing, saying, "There's some other huge creatures around too. If they taste good, it'll be worth the trouble to whoop them." Zoro says, "Finding the sea and ship comes first. We don't know how the rest of the crew is doing." And Sanji says, "Speaking of food, what about that hive or the bees you knocked out? That's a respectable food source. Honey, very nutritious." And Nami's just crying, saying, "Why are you all so comfortable here? Wow!" Yes, she's just crying about the fact that they're taking this so casually while she's scared of her daylights, ending the chapter. Okay, first of all, now my thoughts. Let's see. I will admit, Usopp and Nami seem to have much better endurance than they give themselves credit for, as they seem to have survived from a high, dead-end building and fallen to the ground, so they're still unconscious, so they're not splat and died, so they're a lot stronger than they perhaps give themselves credit for at the very least, though this might just be anime plot armor logic, if you will. But either way, I'm going to go with the endurance, but let's see. But anyway, the main thing is the fact that the cat is now turned into a giant lion, which makes me guess this cat either has some sort of ability to turn into a lion, or it's somehow this cat is the eater of the lion devil fruit. Now, whether or not it's some sort of ability cats on Elbaf have, or just let's see, some sort of a devil fruit, we'll have to wait and see. But either way, it does remind me of those sphinxes from the Imperial Down. Let's see the face a bit there. So I guess Oda likes drawing that face for lions. But I do like how Nami is like panicking and then just decides to use Usopp as a shield because to show how cowardly she is. And Usopp's like, "Hey, don't use me as a shield," being completely annoyed. But Sanji is like, of course, when Nami's in trouble, is like, "I'm here to save you, Nami. Anyone who hurts her, death penalty." So yeah, I do like how Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro have got a sort of like each doing a signature attack, and apparently this mirrors a combination they did during the the Baroque Work saga. I think during the Elbaf arc when they were, I think they were fighting some giant fish monster or something, or maybe some giant bird. I can't exactly recall, but it seems to be a homage to that. So I do like let's see, Oda's doing that. But either way, there's some things to take note as I think there is some things to take note as hold on, let me just check. Let's see, Luffy is apparently using Gear 4, though granted, he doesn't really look like he's in Gear 4 mode. Looks like he's doing Gear 3, so I'm not sure if that's a translation error. That or Luffy has managed to turn his Gear 4 attacks more to Gear 3, or this is just some sort of typo error and be corrected in the volumes later. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, he's doing like a giant let's see, Gear 4 kind of like a whip that looks kind of like a Gear 3 kick in some regards, but yeah. Other than that, I do like how Zoro's using like the three sword swords, but yeah, I like how Sanji attacks from the top, Luffy the face, and Zoro underneath the stomach, and it just knocks it out and turns it back into a cat. It's interesting the fact that we also learned that Luffy apparently ate the giant god rabbit everyone was talking about, but doesn't really want to eat this cat. So I don't think he's into eating cats at the very least. But I do like how Zoro's the one that's paying attention to it turn into a cat. But yeah. Sanji, of course, his priority is like, "Nami, are you worried?" But Nami's just like, "I was so scared, Sanji. Usopp's died." But of course, Usopp hasn't really died. He's like, "I'm still alive, you jerk. I will remember what you used me as a human shield." So I'm curious to see if Usopp's going to find a way to get back at Nami at all during this or not. But I do like how Nami's panicking about more animals being about, but Luffy is just being a bit more casual about saying, how saying there's some other huge creatures around too, and saying that he's hoping that they'll taste good. So, of course, saying, yeah, hey, let's see, Luffy. I do like how Zoro says, Luffy, we need to prioritize finding our ship and see if the rest of our crew is safe and if we're still near the sea or not. Let's see, so it's like Zoro being a reasonable vice captain or first mate, if you will. And Sanji pretty much just being, of course, being the chef, prioritizing finding some food, and even consider like, hey, let's use the bees that were knocked out earlier. I'm not sure if he's referring to Nami, the ones that Nami knocked out, or even perhaps maybe they knocked out themselves. We have to wait and see. But I do like how he sort of like, okay, honey resource, honey and natural food resource. So yeah, that could be useful. But I do love how Nami's just like, why are you guys so casual? There are giant monsters everywhere. So I do like how the fact that she is being like, there's monsters everywhere, and you lot are being so casual about it, think of eating them, using them as food supply, or trying to find the ship first, even though probably Zoro's would probably be the one she should probably less complain about, because for her sense, if they're on the ship, the more they can get away from this giant island of monsters. But yeah, either way, she is completely panicking. Overall, I'd say it's a quick chapter. It's pretty much a fun, classic adventure with the monster trio, particularly Nami. I do like how you have people talking about how dangerous all these giant monsters are, but the Straw Hats are sort of casually taking them down, just showing just how far they come as a crew. They should be, as a Yonko crew, they should be able to take down these giant monsters quite easily. So I do like to hear hype around that kind of rhetoric, if you will. So I think that went pretty well. So they're doing quite well as a Yonko crew taking down those giant monsters. But I do like how you also got the dynamic of Usopp and Nami being sort of the cowardly duo to then later trio with Itzy Chopper. So it's like they're all being scared, they're all running for their lives. Let's see, thinking, okay, maybe this is a hallucination. Nope, it's real. And then Nami, of course, being use me as a shield, but it's like in a sense, Usopp, you can't forget last arc in Wano. Oh, you tried to hide behind Nami when you did an attack on, the Topiropo's two siblings. The two siblings and the Topiropos. So it's like, you don't want to talk, but then again, it is kind of cruel that Nami would use you as a human shield when you're unconscious, or when you're just barely unconscious. I do love that we got the monster trio, just casually taking down a giant cat, which turns into a lion, which leads to so many mysteries on how that cat can do it. But if I had to guess, it's a devil fruit. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, either way, I do like how they're just so casual, the monster trio, about it, that Nami's being just shocked by just how. Or annoyed, if you will, that they're just taking it easy. Of course they would. They're the monster trio. There's nothing those guys can't take down when they work together, pretty much. Now, granted, I think I should probably comment on some notes things. Apparently, the weapons seem to keep changing and disappearing, if you will, because it seems Nami had an axe last chapter, but now she has a sword. And then there's a few panels where she has it, but then on her back, but doesn't. And it seems to be the same case for Luffy, but who knows? Some are theorizing that this is a hallucination, but I think it could just be more of like Oda's doing a few error translations about, okay, hasn't figured out what to draw yet, and as the accessories, or just changing his mind and then deciding later. Who knows? It could be possible this is cleared up when we get the official volume release, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Oh yeah, one thing else, I do like how Luffy's got the traditional Viking outfit. Not that he got a shirt on, got a bunch of Viking bling around his neck, Viking helmet, Viking cape, if you will, Viking shorts. So in a sense, I guess you could say he's kind of similar to Nami with that kind of little get up, though perhaps maybe not as fan servicey, if you will. I like how Zorro seems to got like the sort of shoulder pads on. In some ways, this look kind of reminds me of his Beast Pirate look, but a bit more clothed, if you will. Like he got a proper shirt on and stuff, but he looks more like a let's see, knight in leather, if you will, of his like look. But Sanji looks a bit more like the knight with his armor, which I do like, and I do like how he's got a little fish or maybe worm thing on his belt, symbolizing his thing for food. So, yeah, I do like how he seems to have a bit more of a less bushy cape than the rest. So it's bushy at the top, but the rest it looks like a regular cape. So I do like that. Overall, I think I'll give this chapter an 8 out of 10. It's a classic fun trip with the original Far East Blue Straw Hats who are going on a classic adventure, at the very least at the beginning of this Elbaf arc, or as they are exploring this Lego castle and dealing with all these giant animals and possibly dealing with this possible sun god. Arguably going to probably join the chopper, let's see, pretty soon. And then the Alabaster group will be reunited minus Vivi, which could lead, of course, Vivi coming sooner than we expected. But yeah, either way, it's a good chapter, and I enjoyed let's see, reviewing it. A bit quicker than usual, but I think it's just a little fun adventure. Not really too compact with like things. It just mostly focused on these main 5, and hopefully this will last for a little while before we get to the juicy stuff. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. For those who end up listening, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. Goodbye for now.